Greetings and welcome to my daily devotional for Saturday the 26th of March. As we continue looking at Hebrews chapter 12 and verses 25 and 26, and God's promising to shake the heavens and the earth, we will read about an occasion when Jesus and his disciples decided to cross the Sea of Galilee. And we read about it in Mark chapter 4 and verses 35 to 39. Being late in the day, Jesus said to them, "Let's go over to the other side of the lake." So they took him as he was and got into the boat, leaving the crowd behind. Other boats went with him. And there was a storm wind of hurricane force, causing the waves to crash over the boat and fill it up with water. Jesus was asleep on a pillow in the stern. They woke him up and said, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to drown?" And as he was woken, he commanded the wind and the sea, "Be calm and keep quiet." And the wind and sea did as he commanded. All became calm. Let us remember that we are looking at these verses in the context of God shaking us. And as we look at these verses, let us consider the following things. First of all, it was Jesus who led them to withdraw from the crowd and cross the lake. He does and will lead us into difficult times, times of being shaken. This was also true for Noah and his family. They were to experience a shaking the like of which no one had ever seen before. The shaking was of the earth and the heavens, since the whole of the earth was to be engulfed in an event that had no precedent. As far as we are aware, no one had heard of a flood. No one had experienced a flood. There were no flood defenses. Yet Noah was told by God that he was going to bring a devastating flood on the earth, which would completely destroy the whole of creation, except for Noah's family and a remnant of all living creatures. Let us understand that the flood was at God's instigation. It was a shaking that was brought upon humanity by God. It was not global warming. It was not an erratic weather pattern. It was brought about intentionally by God. It was a shaking that was God's judgment upon the human population. When the storm arose on the Lake of Galilee, it was Jesus who led the disciples into that storm. I believe that Jesus knew what was going to happen. Let us also remember that it was Jesus who was with them in the storm. It was Jesus to whom the disciples turned. It was Jesus who brought them through that time of shaking. And as we face and encounter shakings and storms, we would be wise to do as the disciples did and turn to Jesus. Have a great day.